Yo, well, a little bit more got done on the turquoise car today, so I shall shows you, and I'm still working on it. You see I got a sandblasted 8 3/4 rear end housing right here. My plan is to just rip the whole rear axle, leaf springs, everything out of the turquoise car and just put another one in there. Same with the front suspension. I've got a whole nother front suspension I'm just going to go ahead and drop out and put in. That way I don't have to have it sit on jack stands for days while I'm restoring the shit, or weeks or whatever. I can have something just out in. So what I'm doing to the rear end housing is, these rear end housings don't have a drain plug. If you want to drain the fluids, you got to crack the rear end housing, or you got to bust loose the third member. So I cut this out of a legend car rear end, which is 600 racing legend car. It's basically a Toyota Celica rear end that they weld this bung to. So I'm going to weld this drain plug right on the bottom of this here sucker. That way I can drain the fluids and fill however I want to, when I want to, and don't have to crack the pumpkin loose to do it. I know you don't change the fluids that often, but it's just nice to have that there. Another thing, I got the dashes in the car. I got the A-pillar moldings on there. All that metal trim that goes along the top, that's in. Some of the electricals hooked up, so I'll show that tomorrow. Another thing I did was, I wanted a wood grain wheel in the car because the stock steering wheel just, I don't know, isn't really all that great. And since the dash is all pretty and nice looking now, I decided to attempt to try and restore one of these steering wheels myself. So here we go. This thing had a shit ton of cracks in it all the way around, huge cracks, about ½ inch wide. So I epoxied it with this here shit, PC7. So that's what got done with that. And then, sand it down, molded, all that crap. And then I cut a bunch of grooves in it. I used a drywall knife. I just used basically a blade, just scratched all kinds of grooves in it, which I know now, when I was working the blade, it would kind of turn and twist. So next time I need to focus on getting more straight lines, and some long lines and some short lines. That way it perfectly matches the grain on the wood grain wheels. They're the original wheels. And then I painted it. I used a airbrush, some lighter color brown, then went over with some darker color brown, and then I clear coated it. And once the clear coat dried, I went to Michael's and got some just regular acrylic water-based paint, and used a brush and basically brushed the entire wheel with this water-based paint, and then just wiped it off. That way it would leave behind all the water-based paint in the cracks. And then once that dries, which I'm just going to go ahead and clear the whole wheel again. So I should be able to clear it tonight, right before I go to bed. But I'm going to work on putting this guy in here. So another thing I got to do is, I'm restoring the steering column. The shift indicator, the needle that goes along right here. So the other guy that goes across like that. Well, it's all faded, so I've got some of that bright neon paint to do that. Oh, yep. So I'll show you the steering column. Oh, another thing I'm doing too is getting this all pretty. This is for another car. I just restored this, and I just sprayed these guys, which is basically just Rust-Oleum paint. I buy it in the 1 quart, then I reduce it and spray it out of a small tip air gun. And then once I'm letting that sit overnight, and then I'm going to tape it off and spray the chrome, which it actually comes out really nice. So you can see. There we go. There we go. Look at that shine. Yeah, it's not real chrome, but when you stick your head in the car, you're going to fucking notice the difference. Especially on a ratty car. Oh, so here's the steering column. All shiny, pretty. So I'm gonna put a new bearing in the bottom, and then grease the bearing up top, put a new turn signal switch in it, and then clean the chrome up on here, and then slap it together and put it in the car. So tonight I am going to work on doing this real quick, like I said. So yep, to work I go. Drill time. Big ass hole. Big welder set up. Get my kettle going. Brown. Clink. flames begin. That's pretty. Like a choo-choo train. Looks like it's starting going the other way.
Very good intensity and distance from it.
Rock is our business. Freaking rocks, dude. And business is booming.
Let's rock all the time.
Rotated. Smoker. Another piece of rod. that shit. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. I don't know, is it even focusing? I don't think it is. Maybe we can get better than light. Alright. The reason I wanted this type of bung, because it has that shoulder on it. So if I need to jack the ass end up, I'll be jacking on the shoulder and not the bolt in the center. That's why I wanted to weld that type on there. Alright, so now that that's done, now I can move on to painting my needle. And then after I paint the needle, then I'm going to clear coat the steering wheel. Alright, it's all clear coated and done. Man, this thing would turn out awesome if I would have got the grain texture right. Next time I'm just gonna go straight lines and then long and short lines with dots so it matches the wood grain of the original. But I mean, it's not too bad. It'll look good in the turquoise car. Yeah, epoxied all the cracks, did all the body work, or basically the body work to it, and then 2 different colors of brown, and then carved it. Well, carved it, then 2 different colors of brown. That's what the grain texture was carving it. You know, with I'll show you what I used actually. I just carved it with this, just a freaking drywall knife. I just ran strokes across it. So next time I need to go straight lines instead of arcing it, because I thought it would make it look more wood grainy, but it doesn't. It looks just usually better if there's just straight lines and different length strokes. But not bad for a first time. So next one will be better. I guess this is the experimental one anyway. So yeah, it's bedtime now. Hopefully there's some ice cream in the refrigerator. If not, you're pissed. Alright, later.